All right,
how they're cooking in business.
we about to jump off right now.
Uh,
So here we go. Hopefully my daughter won't come back up here and terrorize me. But all right, so all right, family, we are back, and I need to remind you that you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey. Of course, you know this is Daily Toast. We're going to be talking about cryptocurrency. We can jump right into it. This is a Heart of a Simple production where we strive to blow up those old paradigms. Now, family, I'd like to thank those of you. I'd like to thank you for your patience. Shouts out to Christine Brinter. Like and share, because what I need to do, I have to send the link back out because my daughter unplugged my computer and everything except for my phone went dark. So I had to go and play the Avenger. Shouts out to Miss Yolanda Brooks. Shouts out to Tara Hassa. Thank you for joining us. We're about to have this conversation, and right now we're going to jump right into it. I am sitting here with a brother by the name of, I call him, well, I know him as Dentista. Dentista, I met him through Capoeira. He lives in Cleveland right now, and one of the things that matter of fact, I'm gonna let him tell you about that. But this is why I got interested in bringing him on the show. Some years ago, he sent me a link about some type of gold piece, and it was along the lines of cryptocurrency, but not quite cryptocurrency. I don't think. I'm gonna let him explain that if he chooses to. But anyway, he has been into this type of cryptocurrency and alternate technologies and alternate softwares for a very, very long time. So we are going to be able to get a lot of good information. So I will post up the call-in number, but I want y'all to hold off on calling in until Mr. Dentista is able to break down everything we need to know about about cryptocurrency. So Shaka, don't say nothing. Hold on. All right, Mr. D. Allen Young, also known as Dentista, and we call him Dentista in Capoeira because he has a habit of kicking people's teeth out. So, all right. So, Mr. Dentista, the first thing I want to ask you, man, what is cryptocurrency for those people out here listening?
On a very basic level, cryptocurrency is just math. That's all it is. It is computers trying to figure out the problem, the answer to a problem, and then once they figure out the answer, they're rewarded an amount, and that's determined by the programmer. That's all cryptocurrency is. And that amount, sometimes called a token or a coin, is what we consider value, and it's just like regular fiat currency. When I say fiat, that's nation state currency, like your dollar, your ruble, your pound, your franc, or whatever your country's dollar is. So it's the same thing. We give a dollar a value because we use it. We say it's this much. But what has happened over time is that large corporations, large banks, large government entities will then tell the people, no, this is what this means. But in that respect, it can cause inflation, and the amount of the dollar then doesn't have the same buying power. Now, what cryptocurrency is kind of a every man's answer to that problem. So like where at one point in history, the Mexican peso was actually worth something, but now we make jokes about it. The same thing for a while with Canadian money. We used to make jokes about it.
Right.
And so what cryptocurrency does, it gives the power back to people, but it's basically just an advanced math problem, where, you figure it out and that gives you value. We say it's valuable, and then there's the basics of business, supply and demand, and we want more of it, and it has a finite amount that will never, like in the case of Bitcoin, there will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin.
All right, so you telling me that people are exchanging math problems as currency, in a sense?
Yes.
how does that? I mean, how does that work? Because I'm understanding people are able to buy cars. I'm understanding there's crypto credit cards out there, so people are placing value on the ability to compute and solve these problems, and they're using it as currency, right? Or
Yeah.
okay.
That's correct. Yeah.
Now let me ask you, because you used a term with me the other day when we was talking, because I started looking into it because I joined your group and I started watching the videos, and I said, well, I don't need to really learn it because I'm going to follow your lead. So what you invest in, I'm going to talk to you about before I do anything. But you said by me learning this, I will be learning to be it not only to teach myself, but to teach the young people around me. And this is the term I remember you using. You said I will be teaching them financial sovereignty. Can you explain that a little bit, please?
Yeah, financial sovereignty is basically, you are the bank. In some parts of Africa, they call it table banking, where the community, the family put together their money that they've all collected, however, and then they all decide on, what the individual in the family might need. Say you have one of your kids is at college age, but you yourself can't afford it, but the whole family comes together and then says, hey, let's pool our resources, let's send him to college so that they can learn such and such skill, and then they bring it back to the family to make more money or to be a long-term investment. And that's basically what cryptocurrency is allowing people to do. So instead of you killing yourself to go and do whatever in order to be able to apply for a loan to possibly get denied, instead you are using math, computer power, and like your own imagination to do it yourself. And then that way you can teach this to your children so they don't have to feel like, oh, I have to kill myself to go to college. I think everybody should go to college at least for 1 year because it opens your eyes to more than just your neighborhood or just more to your local community. But you don't have to rely on, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. Because a lot of us just go into deeper debt doing this. There are other ways to make money that doesn't have to be the government issued money. Cryptocurrency in general is planet money, everybody on the planet. And so you are expanding your economic zone further than, your neighborhood, the currency exchange down the street, the local community bank. Like, you are now those people. And as you learn cryptocurrency, you learn how money works. So when you put your money into a bank, they make money off of your money sitting in there. They then charge you a fee because you didn't have the minimum requirement. Sometimes you have to have $300 in your account so you don't get charged that fee. They're charging you for the money they would have made off of you. But when you learn cryptocurrency, you are the bank. You get to set interest. You get to earn interest back. And I'll talk about that, a platform that does that exactly for people. It's a lending platform.
Wait, stop. You telling me that if I start investing in cryptocurrency, I can become a bank unto myself and start lending money out and gaining interest as well?
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, but be careful because if you start operating like a bank, and like you start becoming a public retail bank like Wells Fargo, Key Bank, those like that. But if you start operating like that, the government will start paying attention to you. But it is incredibly legal for you to give personal loans to family members and friends. But you just can't act as a business because, especially here in Ohio where we are, there are a whole slew of money laws that you have to follow. And they usually cost like $1 million just to get in on it, to become a bank or a currency exchange or a credit union. So be careful. Don't just become like, hey, I'm a bank now. You can't operate solely in cryptocurrency. And I do want to get on how the government sees cryptocurrency too.
All right, cool, because somebody just posted up a question. I don't know if you watching the timeline too, but Brother Nubis says, how do we avoid the IRS eventually coming after us when we acquire a certain amount of value in, say, a Coinbase wallet?
So Coinbase is a private company, and they when they initially started, they're I won't call it cahoots, but they're in league They're in league with banks, so they have to follow money laws. Because they're exchanging U.S. dollar, for cryptocurrency. Anytime that you use the U.S. dollar, that is a copywritten, trademark entity, property of the U.S. government. So the IRS is within their rights to then come in. Because when you exchange cryptocurrency back to U.S. dollars, you are subject to capital gains tax, which is like having stock. And I think it's around up to about 30% or so. I'm not quite sure. So if you solely stay in cryptocurrency, you should be okay. But it is considered an asset in the United States, and you do have to declare assets.
All right. So, so if you stay, when you say stay coin, when you stay with the cryptocurrency, and you don't translate it to dollars, then you don't necessarily have to pay taxes for it. Or because like if I declare,
it's only.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's only when you change it back to the U.S. dollar. Because I don't know what the exchange rate. Well, the exchange rate depends on the coin, but there is a tax involved in changing from an asset to currency, because you essentially are selling the currency for U.S. dollar, which is the United States jurisdiction.
Man, all right, now so now I'm understanding there are thousands of coins out there, and do each coin have a different use, or are all of them the same?
You're breaking up.
I said, there's a lot of different currencies out here. Like you got Bitcoin, you got Litecoin, you got all these other coins. And the question I'm asking is, are these coins, do each one of them have a different use, or are all of them basically based on the same idea? Like, is Bitcoin the same as Litecoin or Ripple?
They all have different uses. Like you mentioned, Ripple. Ripple is used for what's called remittance. Remittance is how banks send money to other places, other banks, other institutions that are not necessarily in their network. So when you traditionally send money to Kenya from the United States, they're not in the U.S. banking network. So the U.S. has to go to an affiliate bank, and then that bank goes to its affiliate bank until they get to an affiliate within the Kenyan network. And so during that entire time, there are fees associated with each transfer of their money. So like when you go to Western Union, that's exactly what Western Union does. And so it costs you almost as much as you're trying to send through Western Union because of all the fees. With Ripple, it's just the Ripple network, and every institution is then part of the Ripple network, which is in itself is a blockchain. And so then the fees drop drastically, saving money for both the customer and the bank in order to send it. So that's Ripple's use case. But then there are things like Potcoin. Potcoin is for the cannabis and and hemp industry.
What?
So
wait, hold on. You got. So we have currencies being developed for like certain hobbies and habits. It's like somebody just was sitting around saying, I want a coin that I could just trade and use for marijuana.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like you can do that. Like I was saying with Potcoin, since in the states where marijuana is legal, they can do business within that state, but it's still federally illegal. So and they would then use Potcoin as a way to not have to hold so much money at their state. Maybe they can put it to their personal account and it just be money, or they can go to a BTM or a cryptocurrency ATM machine, deposit it there, and then be issued their Potcoin. I think there's another one called Canacoin, and so that way they don't have to have the worry of being robbed in their location. Because a lot of the places in California have been robbed because they hold so much money in their store.
Right. So this kind of takes that place. So now, how do you hold on to your coins if it's all computer based? Shouts out to Talise Ladybug, and I also got some questions from Anubis. So even before I get to that one, let's go to Anubis. Anubis said, and what if I decide to use it? This is going back to the tax question. And what if I decide to use another wallet that does not require ID to authenticate? Does that rule still apply as far as you have to declare your taxable income?
Well, that's a good question because that's the precedent that the IRS is trying to establish by suing or threatening Coinbase. Since Coinbase is the largest exchange, if they can set precedent there by getting the information of all the users, it then becomes a tool they can use for other cases. Because in the beginning, when they try to attack Bitcoin, you can't attack it directly because it's decentralized. There's no one entity to be able to control the whole thing, so they attack the exchanges. And then they try to criminalize it, and they'll say things like, "Oh, remember Silk Road, where people were using drugs and using Bitcoin to buy weapons and assassinations, most of which was never proven." Now they were selling a lot of illegal stuff on there, but at the same time they were still selling things like chairs and couches and books, but they never mentioned that stuff because you can't make a thing look bad when you say, "Oh, they're using it to gain knowledge." Because that's that turns people out, lips up, and they raise the eyebrow, and so they try to make it look bad. But it takes away from the fact that we've been using the U.S. dollar to do far worse in other people's countries and in our own country.
Oh yeah.
And so say it again.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. We've been doing far worse with the American dollar. The American dollar does everything. It's involved in every exchange that's done here, we do it with dollars. So this right here gives you, in a sense, a certain freedom. Now, my daughter Yolanda Brooks says she has a question about mining. Can you explain how mining works? I mean, you kind of did it at the beginning.
Mining is mining is the actual process of solving the math question. At this point, I mean, that's kind of every beginner's go-to because it's kind of like, you consider it no work. But the days of mining for Bitcoin are pretty much over unless you have thousands of dollars to dedicate to what's called an ASIC machine. And ASICs are an applied specific mathematics chip. It only does one thing. You can do the ones that are programmable, which are called FPGAs. They can do the same one math problem, but then you can also go back and reprogram those. The days of CPU and then GPU mining, which is cheaper and more affordable, but you still need a lot of computational power in order to be doing Bitcoin mining. And then the days of CPU mining, there are a few coins that still are able to do that, but it's really not worth the time for a beginner. Like, you're better off going and going into what they call mining farms and buying a contract in order to use their stuff. And I'm looking at Yolanda, like, yes, it is legal. It is not illegal to do math. That's all any of this is. Even the regular fiat currency is just numbers in the computer, because nobody physically takes dollars from one bank and then carry it to another bank. It's all done behind the scenes on the computers. Man,
wow. So how about because Anubis brought up a question. He said something about hold on. He had
City?
Anubis Kane. He was talking about not being able to transfer the Litecoin. You say you cannot use Litecoin on some websites that accept Bitcoin. Is this so?
That's true?
Go ahead. I mean,
that's true because they aren't the same thing. That's like trying to go into a corner store and using like Canadian dollars to buy a loaf of bread in the United States. They'll say no. They might throw the money back at you and say get out. What you can do is there are sites that do exchanges. One called Changely, and the other one is Shapeshift. And there's another one I just found out about called Quick Trade, but I haven't been able to find their website yet. I know it's an app on Apple to be able to do that. And then you basically are taking the coin that you have, and then you flip the coin to the one that you want, and then you give the address of where it's coming from and the address of where it's going, and they do the site does the exchange for you. I tend to use Shapeshift because it's been around the longest.
All right, is there a small fee with exchanging it like that?
I don't think so. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. There's usually a small fee.
I mean, how can we get in this and make? I mean, other than investing, what other ways can you get in? Because you said mining. Like, okay, I don't want to mine for Bitcoin. How about Litecoin? Litecoin is still new. You got other currencies that's out there that's still new. is there mining opportunities out there for other up and coming coins?
Yeah, there are mining opportunities, but you also have to look at their ecosystem and whether or not are they open source, are they closed source, are they in use, how large is their community? You know, because all these things matter. Like for me, I like to look at coins that have a large community, that are in frequent development, because there are what they call shit coins, where it's a person starts an ICO or initial coin offering to get money in so that they could quote unquote develop the technology, and that stuff is a scam. So when people are getting in on stuff and they see these new coins out and they try to hop on the hype, you know, I can get rich off of this.
Right.
You're like, you have to really be careful, because a lot of these cats out here are just trying to make money,
trying to
traditional
hustle.
money off of.
Same shit.
So
I mean,
that's
same shit, yeah, different.
Yeah,
Same shit, different currency.
New.
All right.
Yeah.
Anubis also said, I have used Kraken and I'm currently on Jax, which will be allowing the transfer of debited fiat soon. I don't know what that means. Did you understand that?
Yeah, yeah, I did. Like he's actually doing it the best way. It's the way I always tell people: don't keep your money online. When you buy from Coinbase, you buy from Kraken, you buy from Gemini, that should be your exchange. Then you go there, you pay for the coin, it goes into the site's web address, but then you transfer it to one that's on your phone, onto some property that you own yourself.
Ooh.
You can do a paper wallet where it's basically a QR code and a whatever your cryptocurrency address is. You send it to there and you hold it someplace where you have absolute control on it, because you can't crack the algorithm and the encryption for the coin itself, but a server can be hacked. You know, we go back to a place called Mount Gox, which is like Magic the Gathering online exchange. You know, and they were hacked. Like there was also a lot of mismanagement on the people who owned it, and there was just like millions of dollars missing. And so whenever a critic comes along, they always bring that up. But that had nothing to do with Bitcoin itself. That was the same old tropes from the same crooked and corrupt corporations and some hackers in place who found a flaw or vulnerability in their server. So it is always a good habit to see, the money in your pocket is the same as the money in your crypto wallet on your phone. And then your exchange account, you can treat that like you would your checking account. The money kind of flows in and out. And then you have another offline that you rarely ever touch, which is like cold storage. That can be what's called a ledger wallet, treasure wallet, or a paper wallet. You know, and so that's long-term storage. Money only goes into that for rainy days or really bad days. That's how people should operate. So Anubis, you're doing it right. You've got one more step you need to do.
All right, so what apps can I use, for example, because I of course, you know, I'm hard-headed. I got my stuff online. What app, because I ain't making that far in your video yet, because, ladies and gentlemen, he has a group on Facebook where he is doing videos on a weekly basis where he walks you through buying the coin and using certain applications, right? So my question is, what is the best app for me to use, or for somebody out here? Let's say I go to the exchange, I open me an account on Coinbase, and I got me like $20 worth of cryptocurrency. I'm just in it to see how it works. How can it benefit me? What app can I use on my phone, or would you suggest that I would use to store my value on my coin?
Like I use Jax, because for Jax you go to jaxx.io and you can download it to your phone, your tablet, your desktop. So that way you have access to that, no matter where you are. But you can also use another one called Copay. Copay is open source. There's active development on it, and the people who created BitPay, and BitPay is like PayPal but for Bitcoin. It's way better because they're not dirty like PayPal is. PayPal acts like as though they're a bank, but they're not a bank. And people, as you're learning how to do cryptocurrency in general, you learn how regular money works. And so you see all the places where these institutions are making money off of you. And you'll probably hear my kids off in the background.
Oh, that's cool. We just had my kids tear the shit. I mean, I understand, baby. Listen.
Jacqueline asked, what can you do with Bitcoin? You can buy a house, you can buy property, you can buy a car. Tesla accepts Bitcoin to buy their cars. You can do everything you can with cash, except your economic zone, your economic field is anywhere on the planet that accepts it. Like I'm about to open a grocery store, an online grocery store soon, where I will accept all cryptocurrency that coin payments use. Like so, it's whatever the merchant says. If the merchant wants to accept cryptocurrency, you can. There's some people who pay their utilities and their rent through cryptocurrency. Here in Cleveland, we have Bitcoin Avenue, where it's like a whole street of restaurants and businesses that accept Bitcoin. And so it's just money. It's just another thing of value. In the old days, we used to use cowrie shells.
Right.
So it's that same thinking.
So now the Bitcoin is the star right now. But what are some of the up and comings right now that people might want to look into? That you believe?
For that, I would tell people to go to a place called coinmarketcap.com, where they list all the legitimate coins that are doing anything. And there's some maybe 12,000 coins or something on there. So I would say go on there, go to their website, because they also put the link to each coin's development website, and then learn about the coins. And whichever one feels best to you is the one you should invest in. I think I'm investing in like 15 different coins. I think the cheapest one I'm investing in is like 24 cents.
That sound like Ripple.
You say what?
That sound like Ripple.
Yeah, I think Ripple's at 50 cent now.
What?
But there's one that's called Magi coin that I like because it's simple. And I think it's around 24 cents or so. Because everybody wants Bitcoin, and so they all go after Bitcoin first. But like I was telling my son yesterday, there are other ways to make Bitcoin without going after Bitcoin. Everybody's racing down the hall, there's a fire behind them, but nobody decides to go through the basement. Nobody decides to cut out one of the windows. So it's don't do what everybody else is doing. Try to find your niche, your way to get to the same destination. There's like Anubis like Dash is pretty strong, and there's usually the top 5 coins, which are Bitcoin, Ethereum. I don't like Ethereum personally. I like their smart contract idea, but I'm not really a fan of the coin itself. It just feels weird to me. I feel like it can get away from you, and they've had some code issues in their early days, most of which I think have been taken care of. But I don't know. Yeah, Zcash is another really good one. But if you want, I can tell you the 15 that I'm looking at right now.
Go ahead.
All right. So
wait, hold on. Hold on. Get your pencils and get your pencils out. See, because this the point. Now,
everybody does.
Yeah. Now, the reason I'm bringing him on, and I'm not seeking. I know him. I trust him. My wife is blending, but also, he has skin in the game. When we are dealing with investments. Right, we always want to make sure that the individuals that we're talking to have skin in the game. So, if any of these crash, you can look over and he might be busted just like you, right? Because boom, a lot of times we look at experts, but the experts will give us advice, but they're not showing that they have faith in the advice that they have. What we need are people in our communities that have skin in the game. And those are the ones we need to listen to. Those are the ones we need to watch. So go ahead. Lay the list out for them. They had time to get their shit.
Right. On that note, I do want to say this. Never, ever, ever, ever invest more than you're willing to lose. So if you think because everybody else is getting rich of it and you are too, if you hop in right now, you have to look at their history. How long have they been in it? Because some of these cats have been in here. Bitcoin is only came out in 2009 and in 2017, and so all these quote unquote experts that come out now, you have to think about it. It came out in 2009, which is about 3 years for the rest of the nerds to be able to get it and understand it fully. And so, in the time from after those 3 years, that's what 2012 now. And so that's 5 years for these experts. You cannot become an expert in anything in 5 years. You can become real strong in it, because I'm not an expert, because I make mistakes, but you have to look at the whole history of how people operate. So I'll give you my list, but remember, this might not be for everybody.
Right.
All right. So
and wait, one more statement.
Okay.
One more statement. Like you
Okay.
said, it's not for everybody. I'm just throwing this out because I'm gonna start asking some freedom fighting questions real soon. So go ahead.
All right. So, Burst Coin, BitConnect, Litecoin, Sia Coin, Storage, Nova Coin, Pot Coin, Magi Coin, Dash, Diamond Coin, not to be confused with Bitcoin Diamond, but Diamond Coin, Black Coin, of course Bitcoin, Zcash, Filecoin, and Ripple. Like those are the ones that I'm investing in right now, and I like them all for different aspects. I try to diversify everything I'm in, so I'm not worried about any one. So if any one fails, the others kind of mitigate the failure, and then I'm okay. And a lot of this stuff, I'm hoping to teach my kids how to do this. I just got my son involved, and hopefully get into the BitConnect coin, because that's where we start working with passive income and compound interest. So I've been using it for about a month now. I like it. It says what it does. And I put about $100 in there, and I make an interest every day off of $100.
I got a question.
And it compounds.
All right, so
Yeah.
to your head, how long have you been involved with cryptocurrency?
I got in around 2011. And when I first got into it, I read the Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper. Satoshi Nakamoto is this pseudonym. Nobody knows who this person is. He was a cryptologist. He more likely worked for the NSA at some point or other intelligence agency. And he thought of this money structure in order to give currency back to the people. Like that was his. He was, as I understand, he was very altruistic that way. I used to follow him while he was in the Bitcoin Talk.org. But it was like when I got in, he was just getting out of there, so I had to go back and read his old posts. It's a forum where people talk about cryptocurrency.
So you've been in it for a while. So long before it got popular. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is how this dude is, right? So he gets to it, and he sticks around. So now, how do people? I mean, just like with other investment, they need to diversify. But just like with all currencies, please be aware, crashes do happen, family. And what that does, I mean, because let me ask you a question. What is the hype?
Yep.
What do you think is stimulating the hype for Bitcoin to skyrocket in the way that it is at this point in time?
I would say, Anubis, yeah, I'm going to ask you a question. Bitcoin Cash is another one I'm looking at. I forgot to say that. As far as the hype, how it is now, I would say it's the same as, stocks. Like people see like the new company making stocks, they think they can make a lot of money off of it outright. But with all these new experts, you see them on TV, and they're talking about, Bitcoin this. You have to remember, 2 years ago, every single one of them were talking about how Bitcoin's a scam, how Bitcoin is useless, it'll never take off. And a lot of that is to just throw what we call FUD, just fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and just basically misinformation. Because if poor people learn how to become rich, they feel that like the rich people feel like you're gonna take over. You're gonna put them down to where you once were. You're gonna take the resource. But I'm gonna tell you, there's enough abundance and resources on planet Earth for every single person. There should be no reason for anyone to be able to improve themselves. So do your due diligence and go out and learn. Like, don't let anybody tell you, even with the stuff I'm telling you right now, don't take it wholeheartedly. Like, go out. If I got something wrong, prove I got something wrong. Like, take responsibility for your own actions. So yeah, I guess.
And just like with regular stock trading, always look at the diversification.
Yeah, that. Like, cause you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, like our elders used to tell us.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Now, you gave us the list. Now, you know I'm a freedom fighter, man. How can I use something like cryptocurrency? Like, right, I got a crew of individuals. I mean, check this out. Can I get a crew of individuals and develop my own coin?
Yes. I would suggest you not do that, though, unless you have a cryptologist on the team, a high-level mathematician, and like a good amount of resource, because security issues come up as time goes on. It's just the nature of technology. So what was once solid today, somebody somewhere in a basement, in an attic, in a bunker, someplace is trying to figure out how to get around that. And so what isn't always now. Like, things evolve, even everything evolves, but in technology things evolve fast, so you have to always be on security, and privacy, or whatever you need, whatever your coin is. You definitely need to have a really good team.
All right. Well, let me ask this, because you always on the cutting edge. What's next? Is my kids over your house? Sound like my kids over there. Hey.
No, my daughter's over here making all the noise.
but what's next? I mean, because like I said, you was on this in 2011. My question is there something else coming that we need to be looking at?
Always. For me right now, I'm looking at all the lending and investment platforms, way to put a little bit of money on and let it work for me, as opposed to me being active and watching it, how it works. But I would say for everyone, definitely invest in Ripple, because that's going to be closer to what the government will use. It makes them feel safe. I would also say things like Nubis has Monero in there. That's another good one. Monero, you can still mine on your cell phone. You won't get much, but you can mine through Monero. But yeah, that's basically about it. Oh wait, no, there are new ones. IOTA, and I can't remember the other one. But they use a different technology as opposed to the blockchain. And the blockchain is the process of solving these math problems. They use something based on in the 70s they called it trinary, or maybe it's tertiary now, I don't know, but trinary code, where right now we use binary code and all that stuff, but during the 70s the Russians were doing research on trinary code, where binary is basically ones and zeros, but trinary uses I'm trying to do this because it is a heavy concept. So I'm not even going to mess it up. Go search for it. Just know Google trinary code. But the newer technologies are based on that. So it processes information faster. It's more efficient, power efficient, and mathematically more efficient. The only reason we're still using binary code because the entire computer industry is based around it. Some of the newer stuff that's coming out is based on trinary code. And so IOTA uses something called a tangle instead of a blockchain. It processes faster. And what this does is, for every transaction that the network does of you have to then validate 2 other transactions. And so it balances itself out. It is extremely new. And if you're a computer nerd or math nerd, it's incredibly exciting. So yeah, look out for that kind of technology.
All right. Now, once again, Miss Jackie, she wants to be clear. She said, again, for us novices to Bitcoin, what is the basic utility? I have really only heard of it in relation to the dark web and illegal activity. So, how can somebody who's invested in Bitcoin? I mean, like you described those neighborhoods in Cleveland where you could go in, and there's a lot of places that accept it. Is there a site on the internet where you can find out where people are selling cars using Bitcoins? Is there a centralized website where give us that website?
For Bitcoin, go to bitcoin.com or bitcoin.org. Most coin place sites will have a link to where to buy stuff with Bitcoin. So you can do it that way. And also, you can just go into some stores will have, they'll have like the Visa and MasterCard stickers on there. They'll have a Bitcoin sticker on there. And another good way is to just, do word of mouth, especially for the Black community. Go to these stores, go to these areas, and just ask them like, hey, do you accept Bitcoin? Have you ever heard of Bitcoin? Hey, I'm not going to tell you to accept Bitcoin, but here's some information. And even novices can do that. You can go and say, like, you guys should learn about Bitcoin, and they might turn their lips up at you. They might, give you the side eye, but I guarantee they're going to go look and do research on it. And the first price they're going to see is their Bitcoin price, and their eyes are going to widen. They don't understand nothing about it, but they see like, oh, I can get rich off of Bitcoin, and they'll start accepting it. And that's pretty much how it's going to happen. It's going to have be organically, because you can't force somebody into it, because it sounds incredible. Like that's too good to be true. And if something's too good to be true, it must not be true. Is how we're always taught. But we have to learn a different way in order to be successful. We have to be adaptive. We just can't like poo-poo an idea because we don't understand it.
Now, but I'm gonna say this: to me, it don't sound that incredible, because fiat currency is backed by belief. So each of these coins have a community of people that believe in the coin, and they respect the coin, and they are willing to exchange things for the coin. So this is basically the same thing we always been dealing with. Rather than mining gold, right? Because that takes work, that takes effort. I'm mining using a computer to process information. We are living in an information-based economy. So, why shouldn't we be able to use information? We always been told information is power, and I think Bitcoin and these other coins are, in a sense, the manifestation of all these years of us talking about information is power. Information is power. We actually get to see information being used in a way where it becomes actually financially beneficial. You know what I'm saying? I could trade the fact that I know somebody, or I bought some processing from somebody else. Somebody else spent time, somebody spent money to solve this problem, and now I'm taking the solution to the problem, and I'm using it, and I'm exchanging it as a medium of value. And I don't see what's
that is correct.
I don't see what's different. You know what I'm saying? My issue is boom, because this is one of the things that I want people to get prepared for, and I know some people might get mad, but crashes are going to happen. It always does. And what's going to start happening is, because you always got, in 100%, you always got 20% that's carrying the load. 20% of the people that's doing the work. Right now with Bitcoin, 80% of that price right now, I believe, is being inflated by individuals that's just, in a sense, tourists in this world right now. And eventually, when they fall off, the price is going to go back down. And you know what Brother Hatim is going to do? I'm just going to buy it for the next time. I'm just going to buy it for the next time. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, with the Ripple piece, I still got to talk with you about that. I'm trying to get in on that Ripple. Yeah. Because when they start talking about institutions, and which basically mean governments, and then you hearing stuff about whole countries going to this type of currency. You understand what I'm saying? I'm understanding in Venezuela, you know what I'm saying, they're not using Venezuelan money, they're using Bitcoin. So we're looking at a piece.
I mean, they kind of have to.
Right. So
yeah, and in Venezuela, their government inflated their money so much that it went the way of the peso. And so a lot of people are doing things with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. There's even a young lady that contacted me. She created her own coin, and I think she calls it the Venezuela coin. And she's maybe 17 years old, and she formed her own coin with like two of her programmer friends, so that their village can be able to eat and like buy and sell stuff, and have value back.
So you telling me that a group of people can either create their own coin or use a coin between them, and basically push out the government.
Yeah, but you're never going to push out the government.
I mean,
That's kind of they're kind of an infection. So they're
You
they're
said
going to do
they're
whatever
kind of
it
an
takes to
infection.
exist. Yeah. They'll do whatever it takes to exist, so that they can either keep control, stay in charge, or appear to be in power, because they have to stay safe as well. And so, like what Russia ended up doing, in the beginning, they were like, "Oh, Bitcoin's okay, we like that," but then recently they've been talking about maybe banning it because they're coming out with an e-Ripple or Ripple coin, ruble coin, which is like the ruble is Russian money. So they're creating their own version of that, but electronically, so that they can keep track of money moving in and out of the country.
Right.
So that's most likely what most governments will do. They'll adopt the blockchain technology and then put their own label on top.
So and of course we'll have people like you around that will be able to identify those hustles. You know what I'm saying? Because family, this is the next level of hustle. We're taking information and we're transforming information into currency, right? And it's something that we all can use. Joe is asking, what is Bitcoin? Are you saying Bitcoin, Joe, or are you saying Bitcoin? Is there a Bitcoin out there you ever heard of? B-I-G?
I've never heard of B-I-G, but it's B-I-T as in a bit of information.
Okay.
The smallest amount of information is considered a bit in our computer language.
So now, family, right now I'm opening up the lines. If you want to type in the question, because he's on the Facebook page, if you want to call in, you got a couple of minutes to talk to the dude yourself. I'm telling you right now, he's been on this since 2011. He's been investing. He's been handling his business. And see, because one, he's been using alternative software since I met him. So, when I was coming at him talking about Chrome, he talking about, man, you need to do Chromium. I'm going to update your system. I'm going to put you on Linux. And, I'm like, Linux, what? What are you talking about? So he's always ahead of the curve, and we all need to have these type of people in our crew. Why? Because they are always looking for the next thing. They're always on the next thing. So, family, with all due respect, I'm saying, take the time. She said, what's the page he does the instruction video? They want to know about your secret video page, man. What is the federal coin he said get involved in? It's called Ripple.
Like,
XP, I think that.
All right, so
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so the group, we mainly talk about where to possibly invest in cryptocurrency, as well as companies that do cryptocurrency. Right now, our discussions are on Bitcoin, on BitConnect. Sorry, and BitConnect is an online lending platform where you give a loan to the platform so that a trading bot can then use that to make itself money for their company, and then you're basically being paid out a daily interest amount. It's the same thing that banks do.
Wait,
stop.
Stop.
Like Wells Fargo and all that kind of stuff.
Wait, stop. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait, I got a hard on. Time out. Hold on. I didn't hear this. I didn't understand it. You're telling me there's a company that will take the Bitcoins that you have, take them out, loan them out, and give you interest, not on a weekly basis, not on a monthly basis, but give you interest on a daily basis. Is that am I hearing you correct?
That's correct. Yes.
All right. Now let me ask this question: how much interest?
But it depends on the day, because it's based on the volatility of Bitcoin. So if it's a good trading day, you get a higher interest rate. But if not such a good day, you get a lower interest rate return.
Are we talking about 2-3%?
Say it again.
Are we talking like 2-3%? Or because like for example, on a good day, how much?
On a really good day, I get almost 2%.
Okay.
On a not so good day, I think I got as low as 0.03% was like my lowest day. And then there are some days where there's no interest made but it's compounding interest. So it's, if I keep reinvesting the money, then the amount I get back is always higher.
Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, and you talking about this in your group? See, because I ain't made it to that video yet, so I'm still trying to get. I'm still trying to transfer stuff to my phone. So,
like we try to make it very as simple as possible. There are like tons of videos online that on YouTube that you can look at as well. But I also put a referral link in the group. I haven't used any referral money because I'm trying to see how it works by itself. But yeah, you can still use the link and get in. Like, cause we formed like a group around that, because every person underneath me also makes a percentage under the people underneath them, like under 3 places. And so it would be me, the person under me, the person under them, and the person under them. After that, nobody makes any money. And I believe it's 5%, 3%, and 2% that you get back from all of their transactions as well. And I wanted to say this: by definition, that is considered a Ponzi scheme, but not a Ponzi scam. No, there's a difference between a scheme and a scam. A scheme is just basically a structure. But you have to also think that your job right now that you have is a Ponzi scheme. Like there's the boss, there's the managers, and then there are the people underneath them, and all that. Where it becomes a Ponzi scam is that in order for the person above you to get paid, you have to be paid by the people underneath you. And that's not the case this way.
All right, Joe Berry is asking, how can I get these coins? What's the site once again for people that are interested? But and then also, go ahead, because my thing is, I don't want people running off my group right now and going over to Coinbase and start purchasing shit. You know what I'm saying? How do they get access to your group so that they can watch videos? Because I want everybody, listen, everybody get excited, but do your due diligence. Do your research. Watch his videos. Watch other videos about it. Watch videos that's saying hooray for it. Watch the other videos that's talking about this is the coming of the new world order. Watch videos and learn. No, really. See, because the whole piece is, if you go in and you all gung-ho and then something happened, next thing you know, you bad-mouthing this. And then once again, we have a group of people, because I want y'all to understand this. Some of y'all out there might be sitting up to, oh, this is some garbage. But I want you to remember, at one point in time, every house in the neighborhood didn't have cable. And it was talking about those people who was paying money for cable. Y'all remember that, right? Some of y'all old enough to remember Some of y'all old enough to remember 8-track tapes, and how you would not. Some people would not give up their 8-track because there's no way that real good music could go on them little cassette tapes. And some of y'all wouldn't even give up your cassette tapes when we found out about CDs. Come on now, family. This is everything progresses, everything moves, everything changes, right? And it's like, yo, either you could get caught with the lamb chops, the apple hat, and your 8-track tape while your kids is moving out learning about blockchains and shit. We need to get onto something. I ain't saying this is the solution. What I'm saying is we need to get involved into something where, in a sense, we can start moving, as he called it, to financial. I mean, that's a beautiful term. Financial. What is it called? Financial.
Sovereignty.
Sovereignty. You know what I'm saying? When we're banking with each other, when we hustling with each other. You know what I'm saying? When we're involved in the blockchain, we know. You know what I'm saying?
I also want to talk about the big gold.
Go ahead. Now that's the one you told me about years ago, right?
The what?
Did you? Is that because you sent me something about gold maybe 2-3 years ago?
Yeah. I want to talk about the big gold as well. Well, they're not called big gold anymore. They're called gold money. They bought this new upstart ended up buying a long-term established company, and then took the name. But basically, it's just like buying Bitcoin, but it's gold. They also have a number of vaults around the country. They just signed a contract with a vault in China, so that they can expand into the Asian market. It's basically a gold bank. You can buy gold with Bitcoin. You can store Bitcoin there. you can buy gold with cash. It's goldmoney, one word, .com. And then you can then charge a debit card like you would like a Visa prepaid card or whatever. You can do the same thing and then send your gold. And so when people hit you with that, like, oh, you can get gold but you can't spend it, but now you can. There it is. Like no, Hatem just put it in the chat. You can do this now this way, and so instead of you having to worry about being on what's the blacklist for the banks, you just go in and sign up here. You still have to do your KYC, which is thank you that's called Know Your Customer. So you have to put on your information and then you sign up. They also allow you to buy platinum, silver, I believe titanium, and you can also buy gold with oil, or if you for some reason have like an oil thing on your property. So it's a really good platform. Another one is Voltero. Voltero, I think it's based out of the UK, and you can store Bitcoin and gold on that platform too. Wealth isn't just money. Wealth is doing all the things, having all the assets. So you and having control of them, either direct control or somebody you really trust them to pay to do it for you. So don't just think that like you're gonna get into this and you're gonna do this. And you are a bank, so you must always perform your security due diligence as though you are a bank. How you want your bank to operate, you should operate that way too.
Damn, that's a lot of work, man. But I hear you. I gotta go and get this book for my kids. I just don't want to pass ideas. Well, actually, right now, what you're telling me is I can pass on the idea to my children, and they can get rich off of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But hey,
yeah.
I want to make sure they got some cash with that too, right? All right. Well, my fault, not no cash, because we're moving. we are rapidly moving. Family, a lot of y'all talking about, y'all fear the cashless society. You're already living in it. Very few of us.
Yeah,
when I was young, I'm old enough to remember going to the bank and getting money for my check. But most of us don't even see our damn check no more.
Nope. With companies like BitPay and Gold Money, you could do all your businesses solely in gold or in crypto, where you can accept payments from your customers through their credit cards or their cash or whatnot, and then be changed into the asset that you want. And so that way you are directly into it without having to transfer it through Coinbase and whatnot.
All right, but we do know the government is coming.
Oh yeah, they're gonna try. Yeah, they're definitely gonna try.
Okay,
they have to try. It makes them weak to not try. It makes them look weak to not try.
So family, for those of you that's trying to hide hundreds of thousands of dollars because you got it stored up under the mattress, you still gonna have to deal with the government. Jacqueline says panhandling will be a thing of the past unless out homeless and disenfranchised somehow get cell phones and the square. No, actually, in China, panhandling, I just heard this on NPR. It's certain panhandlers, because they use a digital currency over there. They got a QR code that you could just go on and donate money to them. Right now, Facebook just cut us off, bro. I'm gonna give it a second to spin, but
Yeah, I saw it.
Right. When we get on it, we doing the right thing. Huh?
QR code with Bitcoin transfer from person to person.
So you can actually have notes.
I think it was Anubis was talking. So I think Anubis was talking about that was similar to that, where local Bitcoin is what he was talking about, where you can go meet face to face and exchange directly, like handing somebody direct cash. They give you the cash, and then they scan your QR code, and then you get the coins. So you don't have to go through a website. You can meet each other directly. So.
Right. So now what I'm gonna do is can I put a link for them to follow you on Facebook, and if they want to join the group, they could just go and let you know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I mean, you buy a computer, you type faster than me anyway. Go on, put up your information so that they can go on and follow you. And then if you express interest in his private group, right, he could go on to send you the link and you could join, right? You know, so hey, you know, and then also, family, let's start doing this. Let's start doing this because I heard him about the not getting because it's like when you go in up under somebody with a coin base or something. This is why I was trying, because he wouldn't even send me his, because I wanted him to send me the link so I could go on. But hey, let's get that money, y'all. They're giving that money out. Let's get that money. Go in up under a friend, somebody that you know that's on there, so they get that little bit of money, right? Joe Berry said the gold coin is what Gaddafi was trying to do, and they killed him. And sometimes, family, in order to make changes, we have to risk being killed. That's why you need to do the 4 things in your life to make sure you are healthy. Breathe, drink water, eat culturally appropriate food, and do movement so that you could dodge them damn bullets. You know what I'm saying? Because the family, we got to understand that government, in the way that we know it now, is slowly but surely unraveling. Economics, as we know it now, is unraveling, right? It's certain things that have been constant for us right now, and a lot of these things, the stability that we used to have is no longer there, family. You know what I'm saying? It's not there. It's all an illusion. So I'm just saying we need to be looking at stuff like this so that we can make our move. But yo, nobody. Let me see if anybody else called in. If nobody else called in, if all questions have been asked, I want to thank Brother Dentista for joining us. I would advise y'all to get on his group, or at least get access to the group. Watch his videos. Make comments. Let me know if you find some information. Some of y'all are quicker with stuff than I am, so y'all here, y'all can help us. And it's a possibility that those of us in Columbus, if we want to bring him down here so he could do a workshop, we could do that. So I'm just letting y'all know. You know what I'm saying? Because I can have a capoeira workshop,
I love that.
and then I can have a cryptocurrency, so you can learn how to kick ass and buy crypto. You know what I'm saying? That might what I call it, kick ass and crypto. Or crypto ass kick. Or somehow, list all sites, huh? What? What'd you say, Jackie? List all what sites? You get those off his Facebook page. You know I'm too late. It's Sunday. I'm about to chill. I'm about to go make me some pizza.
We can talk.
Go ahead. What'd you say, bro?
No, I was gonna say just come to the group and we'll talk about all the lists of the sites and stuff.
Right. So if you go to the group, you join them on the group, you get lists to all the sites and all that. So join the group, check it out, and like I said, start spreading the word. Because like I said, it ain't like I invest. It's like he said, if you invest what you can lose. You know what I'm saying? So that means if you got, because they'll accept $5, they'll accept $10. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And it's the same thing with stocks, because I also do Acorn, even though it didn't teach it on it, because he said that shit is all going to die. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's talk about that real quick, Batista. Why do you think that the way that we do business now and the way that we use money now is on its way out? That's the group page, Jackie. Not Bitcoin.com. It's up on the D. Allen Young Facebook group. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, like it's the way money, like the way traditional money works is too slow. There are too many middlemen, so it makes it too expensive for the entities to do business with each other. And so everybody in the middle got their hands and out, hey, give me a little bit of that, a little cut the top, kind of like how the mafia does the protection. You can't operate functionally like efficiently if everybody got their hand out. You can't make any profit. So the way everybody does business now, it has to die because there's no money in it anymore. But if you start eliminating middleman and you make it more efficient, there's more profit back. And so what you're going to see is a lot of people losing their jobs to the machines, a lot of computers taking over work, and the only people that will be making money are the owners, and then like that small cadre of people at the top. And so it's better to invest in yourself and become your own boss, and so that way that you are, that you're future proofing your employment, by owning a company, and then you become a producer as opposed to a consumer.
All right. So now, family, if there's no questions, Miss Jackie got a bunch of questions. So if she gets in the group, she's gonna be asking a lot of questions. So get ready, and usually her questions is good.
Good.
Because she's very thoughtful and she's a good writer. So be on the lookout for that. Joe Berry says he already went to the site. He went to the group. We already know Anubis is already invested. I want to send shouts out to everybody. Let's just say that. I'm gonna send shouts out to everybody. I want to thank Dentista. I will be back in touch with you. I gotta finish. I'm on video number 3, and I'm gonna catch up with the group and eventually get to a point where I'm proficient in the language and be able to have money on my cell phones. You know what I'm saying? Get the little stick where I can have some money on that and just get it moving, all right? But yo, brother, I want to thank you. Thank you for taking the time with us on Gye-Nyame Journey. Family, I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in. I need to remind you, you are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Radio. Of course, this is Daily Toast. We just got there talking about that cryptocurrency, and it's a Heart of a Simple production. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigm. Alright, I'm out, fam. Peace, Dentista. We only did an hour 6 minutes. That was good. All right, thank you, family, for tuning in. Sorry for the 15-minute delay at the beginning. We are out.